Hey everybody, welcome to Street Fight Radio. It's time for the live show. We are coming to you out of Columbus, Ohio, in the Bottoms, home of the Street Fight headquarters. We are on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Follow along, hang with the gang. We want to hear what you got to say. Jump in the chat. We've always got a good group of folks in there. Otherwise, listen to us as a podcast. 5 stars, reviews, all of that stuff we like. And then if you want to make the leap, head over to patreon.com/streetfightradio where you get access to our bonus audio shows like the Movies Cinematic Universe podcast. And coming up later this month, the first Shocktober episode is happening. So get in there now. We are the #1 anarcho-comedy radio show on any station across the nation. We're trying to take down all the United States government and every other whole hierarchy that exists on this planet. So if you're into that and you want to fuck shit up, continue to listen to our show. We'll invite you into our world of wild and wacky people that want the best for everyone. So you found the right place. It's Wednesday night Street Fight at the new headquarters. This Sunday we will not be taking your calls, right?
No, I will be watching All Out.
There will be wrestling.
Yes. Yes, I do. It is wrestling night for me, so I will be watching that. It's also Labor Day weekend. You know, if we don't get Labor Day off, we don't deserve any days off, I feel.
Okay.
Labor Day is our Christmas, I think. You know.
I think May Day should be.
Yeah. May Day's maybe the better one. So, Joe Rogan does have COVID, but I have a feeling he's going to make it through and then say it wasn't that bad.
Smart.
He's also going to eat the horse paste. For sure. Going to use the horse paste.
He did claim that he did.
He said it?
I don't know. He might have been joking, but yeah. He in that video he posted, he said of all the stuff he had tried, and ivermectin was one of them.
Oh. Wonder how it worked for him. Horse paste. It's crazy that those tractor stores have to now put signs by the ivermectin that says this is for horses. Don't use it. So, I guess. I don't know. I do not know. Not a fan. Not a huge fan of Joe Rogan. I mean, I know you all probably thought I'm a big Joe Rogan listener, but no, not a fan. So, how's it going, Brett?
All right. I walked to the grocery store today, which is something I don't do because I hate my fucking setup. It's so stupid. It pisses me off so much. I live next to a Target and a gigantic grocery store and like all the fast food in the world and anything you could ever want. And they don't have fucking sidewalks. There's no sidewalks to get there.
There are not.
My apartment was built in like the 60s or something. So these were people that were like firing up like V12 engines full of fucking dinosaur juice and just driving, 0.2 miles across the street to go to the grocery store. Or a Burlington Coat Factory used to be back there.
Yeah.
But I was walking home and I was just so mad that I have to walk through a fucking parking lot. And that it's just a giant asphalt, horrible setup. Nobody's using the parking. I've never seen it maxed out.
No.
It's so ugly. They could throw a green space in there. They could put a fucking bench for people to sit down. And the worst part is now they're even selling apartments at the end of it. So you basically live in a strip mall.
Yeah.
Like you are fully absorbed into a strip mall.
Yeah, I kind of had the same thought today when I was walking on a street that is right by Ohio State University that doesn't have a sidewalk. And I was like, now, why would you not have a sidewalk here? And it's just annoying to have to walk in the grass. I don't know why that bothers me, but there's something annoying about it, and I don't like it. So I'm with you on that, man. Build more sidewalks. So, this sounds like me being a guy, where I'm like, I'm a walking guy and I just assume that my problems are universal, that there's no sidewalk. But there's a lot of other people that walk too. They'd like to have sidewalks. So it's actually people that have to walk. And we should make it easy to get around town for them.
Yeah, and we should destroy cars, and they're fucking awful. And we should be encouraging people to walk. We should have a walkable city. We should be banning cars from most places. It is a better way to live.
Yeah, people that live in the city want to walk, or they should walk. You shouldn't move to the city without walks, you know. So, yeah, very annoying when there's no sidewalks. Hate it. So earlier this week or last week, somebody VH for change. That's Vadnais Heights for change, not Van Halen for change. I Eddie Van Halen's dead. I don't think that they're, for change, right? So Vadnais Heights for change. This letter is being sent to teachers in White Bear Lake by the Parent Patriots.
Okay.
So this is a letter being sent to the schools by Parent Patriots, a group.
Do you think that's the name they came up for themselves when they drafted this, or this was already running?
I think that no, I do not, because schools just really became the huge battleground that they are this year. I mean, they were always a little bit of a battleground where people were fighting about what kids learn in school, but mostly people were just like, first of all, they didn't care what people learned in school. Really, when I was growing up, my parents didn't give a shit what I was learning.
Oh yeah, and even these people, these like parents that are like they're teaching Marxist propaganda. That's not enough to get them off their ass to go to a school board meeting.
No. And I gotta say, just being a parent, I don't really care what they're teaching at the school. I mean, as long as they're not, teaching racism classes on how to be more racist, which they kind of do at times, but that's the curriculum the teachers are stuck teaching. And, what are you going to do? But so this comes out, this says, a letter to school teachers. Dear, and then you can just write your teacher's name in there if you want to use this. You're welcome to use it if you need to. My son/daughter name is in your... Let's do Gwen. My daughter Gwen is in your, history class, right? This term. I'm really glad. I'm looking forward to seeing her grow this year, and I'm confident she will learn a lot from you. Thanks for all you do for our kids. All right. We're starting out on a good fucking foot. And I like it when we start out on a good foot. You tell them, like, I don't hate you just because you're a teacher in a teachers union, which I hate teachers unions and all this stuff. Like, we're not going to start out with a fight with you, okay? At the beginning of the year. I want to be clear. I want to fight you and I hate you. But right now, I'm saying that I'm not. So this is a mature conversation we're having, and you can't say anything back to me.
Yeah, I'm literally such a fucking moron that I think if I be nice to you first, you won't notice that I fucking hate you.
Yeah. I'm sure you're aware that there have been concerns recently in the community about subversion and political advocacy in the schools.
Okay.
Because of you start to get nervous.
What? Now? In what direction exactly?
Well, if it's coming from the Parent Patriots, I think we know. Patriots love racism. So, and they're mad because they think anything that somebody says is, which technically, if you're teaching history, it is a political course. You can't say that history is not political. No matter how you teach it, no matter anything about it, it's 100% political all of the time because you're making decisions on. It's like when they say journalism isn't supposed to be political. Well, it's like, but it's a political choice to choose what you're even going to talk about or how you're going to frame stories. So it's all political. So stop acting like they have to be, like, they act like these teachers have to be, like, devoid of opinions when they're teaching. I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, they're just supposed to announce facts to the class.
Yes. And again, there aren't facts really when it comes to history. I had a really tough argument with my father. That's when my father-in-law was yelling and spitting at me, was when I was telling him, like, well, those aren't facts. Those are just what somebody said happened. So, I mean, you can get mad, but there's no real way to teach that way. Because of that, I and many other concerned parents are sending this letter to our kids' teachers this year. I want to make sure that you achieve a high level of academic excellence. Ew. Come on.
Come on. All sounds good, right?
Still being really nice.
This is what they want to hear, yeah.
Right? Yeah. A high level. They're telling the teacher that they want them to, like, as if the teacher isn't going for academic excellence when they get the students in the class. Like, as if they're like, listen, we all want the same thing. We want academic excellence. Now, let me tell you how to achieve academic excellence. Let me, a guy that fucking mows lawns or like answers phones or fills out spreadsheets for a living, tell you how to achieve academic excellence. Let me, a podcaster, sit down. I'm going to go in and I'm going to sit down with the teacher and be like, listen, I'm a podcaster and I'm here to tell you how to achieve academic excellence. So I also want to open a clear line of communication about my expectations related to controversial topics and especially politics in the classroom.
Oh, I thought this was going to be a mask thing.
Yeah, so now we're going to be we're opening up a clear line of communication here, okay? That's what we're doing. About what to teach.
Yeah, let me know what the other parents don't care about excellence in education. I'm one of the special ones.
Yes, and here are my expectations. 1, please provide a lesson plan for my review. If there will be class content discussion or assignments related to healthcare, for example, COVID-19, vaccines, etc., race, gender identity, or LGBT issues, sexuality, equality, and climate change. So you do have to...
That's all of history.
That's all. I mean, if you were going to teach like a social studies course, and if you're supposed to not talk about COVID-19 or COVID vaccines and stuff like that, what kind of teaching are you doing if you're not talking about these things?
I want you to teach that, the MMR vaccination that we receive in school is completely safe, but they're experimenting on us with the COVID-19 vaccine.
Yes. You need to make sure that you teach. It is really saying, I want you to talk about things the way that I want you to talk about them. I don't want you to have an opinion. I don't want you to be able to give, because really what they're saying is, I don't want it to be pro-vaccine. So a teacher that might be like, cool with vaccines, might have a educated view of how vaccines work and how these vaccines work and how they could improve things. Like, they're just saying, like, no. We used to do that a lot on the show, where it would just be like, you would spend a whole bunch of time trying to explain something to somebody, and they would just look at you and go, no.
Yeah.
No.
Not really.
No. Somebody's mom. Please do not ask my child for his or her preferred pronouns, either verbally or on informational forms. Instead, I suggest that you ask the students whether there is anything you should know about how they wish to be addressed.
Okay. This parent doesn't have anything better to do than now set up the class. Go to school and run a classroom.
I know. Well, they don't want to do that. That takes a whole bunch of work, Brad. They know how to achieve academic excellence without doing any of the work it takes to achieve academic excellence.
So it's don't say anything unless someone asks.
Yeah.
We don't want kids to be comfortable recognizing someone's pronouns. We don't want to make this like a common sense thing, like a greeting where we ask people's pronouns. We don't want to make that a part of the education. They don't have to be comfortable recognizing someone else's humanity.
And if you're a kid, like, I mean, this could be such like we're just asking for pronouns here. You don't have to call me Mr. Because I would have been like, yeah, I need you to call me Mr. Quinby.
Right.
To the teacher. That's how I would. But that's not what they're doing. They're just saying the pronouns. That's it, which is fine. That's not a problem. Why does that hurt some parent? Like, what is that?
Their way of life is being deteriorated because there's people that exist that aren't straight heteronormative Christians. Like, that's all it is they feel threatened that people are allowed to live in a way that isn't like that.
Well, number 3 here is going to give you a real view into how this person feels, how entitled this person is. Please try to approach controversial topics in class with caution. Do not indoctrinate the children. Which is like...
Can you do that accidentally?
I mean...
Oh no. I'm sorry. You have to send out an email and then, like, there was an outbreak of indoctrination in class today. I really convinced them to think critically about something.
But what about even, like, the Pledge of Allegiance and learning the American history type stuff? Like, isn't that indoctrination too? Like, we're talking about, like, all kinds of indoctrination here. Sure, maybe you're indoctrinating the kids to be decent to each other, which is what, checking pronouns and talking about equity and equality and identity and stuff like these are good things for kids to learn in the world that they're going to be coming up in. Like, that's something that, like, these people are so, like, a lot of these people are so against kids learning how to function in a world that actually exists.
Yes.
And that's where like a lot of times, the homeschooling thing will end up happening with people where they're like, I'm going to homeschool them so I can teach them the right way. And it's like, nobody is saying that what's going on in the school is like teaching the right way to be. Like, nobody is saying that. We're saying, like, this is a common knowledge base that everybody's grown up with, is what we're saying. That's it. So my daughter, what she learns in school it's just what people know. That's all it is. We're all just learning what everybody else knows. And what everybody else knows right now is, and stuff that's important to talk about is stuff that's happening in the world. And there are conversations that need to be had about these things.
And how weak sauce is your fucking argument if they can't hear opposing things?
Yeah.
Like, how good is your anti-vax rhetoric if someone can't say, oh, vaccines actually work? And they're like, no, you're not allowed to say that. No, you can't indoctrinate my kid.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what they always make it sound like that's all they're trying to do.
Oh, that's all. Just silence people. Critical race theory is just about silencing non-white voices.
Yes. Yeah, that's it, or white voices. They think critical race theory is about silencing white voices. So it's like, well, your kids can't learn other people's perception of the world without it totally destroying what you want their perception of the world to be. And honestly, I said this on a show recently that I did with somebody, and I can't remember where it was. It was a podcast. It was a guest spot I did about, it was on YKS, when we did YKS, about how, like, you don't, like, get to pick what music your kids listen to. This is just, like, a small example, but you're not going to be able to pick what they like.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. You're not going to be able to pick what TV shows, what movies and stuff your kid likes. You have to make peace with that, because they're probably going to like stuff that you don't like. That is what part of being a kid is liking things that their parents don't like.
Yeah.
That's part of the thing. So, like, you have to put that with politics and with all these other things too, is like, you don't fucking get to be the person that chooses this. They are the person that fucking chooses. They're the person that gets to choose what their beliefs are.
Yeah.
Let them hear voices speaking and let them develop their own sense of the world. And you Have your time that you can spend where you are imparting your knowledge and your view of the world. And you just have to compete with the other views that are out there in the world. And you will always have to do that. You will always have to compete for that.
Yeah, it's not fair because when kids aren't beaten into conservatism, they choose something different.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they want. They want the kids to just be taught conservatism. Because if they don't teach that, the ideas are so fucking bad that nobody would ever pick them.
Yeah, you would never come to the place.
You'd never come to the bad ideas of conservatism without being nudged in that direction your whole fucking life, because that's the way things are. Number 4 on this list of things that they expect the teacher to do is the last one, and it is my favorite one. Please remove any signs or symbols of subversive political advocacy from your classroom. For example, a BLM flag, a rainbow flag, a Biden shirt, Che Guevara shirt, etc.
What about an All Lives Matter flag?
What about Don't Tread on Me, Gadsden flag? What about that? What about the American flag?
Yeah.
Remove that. So...
How long are we going? Yeah, how far are we going with this?
Yeah. No, only, again, like you're saying, they don't want their kids to hear the other side.
And they literally don't see anything besides America. Like, America worship is the standard. They've never considered...
People don't like it.
Guessing it, yeah. Second guessing it.
Yeah. I mean, what teacher is wearing a Che Guevara shirt? And Joe Biden's the motherfucking president. If you're allowed... if there's a shirt that you're allowed to wear... It should be the shirt with the president on it. If your kid's if you're trying to raise a patriotic kid, I would think that wearing a shirt with the president on it would be good help to get them to be like, wow, that, this person's looking at a shirt. And who fucking sees? I saw Che Guevara shirts all the time growing up. I didn't know shit about the guy. Nothing. It's a cool looking guy on a cool looking shirt. That's all it is. To kids. Why are you so worried that if your kids see a t-shirt, they're all of a sudden going to be... Like, when you wear your Bob Seger shirt, does your kids get super into fucking Why Don't You Stay? Like, does that happen? I don't believe it does. When you wear a t-shirt with your one of stupid Tommy Bahama shirts with surfboards and fucking Woody cars on it, does your kid get way into Woody cars and... fucking surfboards? No. It's a fucking shirt. That's all it is. Joe Biden shirts. God, it's such a funny failure of imagination that they think the most left person is Joe Biden.
Yeah, and also, absolutely, their house is covered in Trump memorabilia.
For sure. Yeah, yeah. And they would wear a Trump shirt if they were a teacher.
Yeah.
For sure. They would totally do it. They probably go to parent-teacher conferences in Trump t-shirts to be confrontational with the teachers. For sure.
To be patriots.
Yeah. If any of these things will be a problem for you, don't hesitate to inform me and we will get my child moved out of your class. What a coward. If there is anything I can do to help you, please let me know.
Yeah, homeschool your kid.
Yeah.
You are in charge now of the education. You know what you want better than what I'm going to offer.
You know what would help me? If you left me the fuck alone and let me teach a class.
Yeah.
I mean, do we really think there's a lot of teachers in the audience. I'd love to hear from them. Really. Whether you want to send something on Twitter or anything like that. Do teachers really come in there with Black Lives Matter stuff and like do they really come in with stuff that they know is going to get them yelled at by the dumbest parents in the school district? I would assume no. I don't think a teacher would wear a Che Guevara t-shirt to teach a course. I mean, I don't think anybody wears Che Guevara t-shirts anymore. Like, I don't think that's still like a style.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
No, they're cool. If there's any, I like the part also where it says, if there's anything I can do to help you, please let me know, because they're picturing a teacher drafting them to help them make their lesson plans.
Yes.
Like their fantasy in their mind. These people are all like, when you're into wrestling, there's a term called fantasy booking. These people are into like fantasy booking history class. Like, oh man, if I would have gone to college and got my teaching certificate, I would make the best fucking history class in the world.
Imagine history without Trail of Tears.
Yeah.
Like, if we just skip that, then we don't have to talk about it.
Yeah.
No one feels bad.
I'd make the best history, man. I'd let them know that Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. That'd be the first thing I'd teach.
Yep. Oh, God. Oh, the worst teacher. That is the first day thing. Attention, class. We're going to learn about history today. And the first thing you should know, Abraham Lincoln, the man that freed the slaves, Republican.
Yep.
All the I like history now.
And then you teach about a really racist person like Robert Byrd or Richard Byrd. I don't remember his full name. And you're like, he was in the Ku Klux Klan. Also, a Democrat.
Right.
So, do you want to be that person? And the Irish were also slaves. Like that.
Yes, that's the history class.
They're just fantasizing all night, laying in their bed, probably fucking have like a journal that they keep with them where they're writing their lessons plans. Like, oh man, I'm so excited.
Can't wait for them to hear the truth about our great nation.
There's gotta be a fucking message board on the internet where they just write fantasy lesson plans. Where like conservatives get together and they're like, you know what I would fucking do today? I'd make a macaroni necklace, but it would look like Trump. Because Trump was the president. And that's, they might think it's biased, but we're talking about the old presidents. And, I want to teach about it. I mean, these people are fantasizing about being high school teachers. That is their dream. But they didn't want to do any of the work it took to become a high school teacher. But they really wish they could stand in there and fucking own kids and arguments and yell at them about their cell phones. They'd be really excited or sending kids to the office and giving them detentions is really an exciting thing for them. So I'm eager to see you and all of our students succeed this year. And I'd be very happy if there were any way I could contribute to that or provide support for you as you navigate this difficult season. Sir or madam, this is a difficult season because of you. You're the problem.
Yeah, because you came in and started telling everybody that the minimum wage is harmful to workers.
Yeah. Oh, that's another good one. Yeah, they would love to do that too. Well, you hear a lot about the minimum wage, and the minimum wage is sounds great. Hey, we could pay everybody $100 an hour. It would be great for everybody if you made $100 an hour. You just can't do it because it would make a cheeseburger $6.
Yeah,
and that's we don't want that. You can't just print money.
Can you imagine?
You can't just print money, and then you ask them why, and they're just like, well, because you can't. That's why.
What if leaves were money?
Yeah. I love it. I fucking loved that letter. That letter makes me so happy to read because it's so stupid. And it also, my heart really does go out to teachers this year specifically because they've gone through a hell year already. Last year was tough, man. Everybody was fucking mad and now everybody's fucking mad at them. And they're dealing with a pandemic. They're worried probably about getting kids sick. All kinds of stuff, man. It's not easy. It's not a fucking easy job. And these fucking crazy people are screaming at them constantly about everything they want to teach. If they taught Malcolm X, if they just said Malcolm X was a guy, they'd be like, you're not supposed to, I don't want you.
Yeah, he had radical beliefs. That's the kind of political stuff we don't want to see taught in the classroom.
Yeah, he went too far a lot of times. So that's all. So I saw this story and, I'm a big fan of scams. Huge fan. But this is a sad, bad one a little bit.
No.
It's from ESPN.
Oh.
Did you see this?
A little bit. I didn't understand what was going on.
It's great. It's something. It's
pretty deep.
2 days after an Ohio-based high school football team met national powerhouse IMG Academy in a prep football mismatch on Sunday on ESPN, questions continue to be raised about how the game was scheduled and whether the school even exists.
Yes.
This is
Bishop Sycamore.
Bishop Sycamore, yep. This is such an Ohio thing because the funny thing about this story first is that, like, we are not, like, a big high school football state, really. We have a few parts. Columbus isn't a high school football city at all.
No.
It's all college.
Yeah, the Buckeyes are huge here, but it's not Texas. Like,
No.
Texas has a high school football culture.
Right. It's not Friday Night Lights here, so there's almost, like, no reason to do this, really. So let's get into it. ESPN and Paragon, the company that works to schedule and deliver high school football matchups on ESPN, both said they were unaware that Bishop Sycamore had apparently played a game on Friday night and didn't have the number of highly recruited prospects it claimed to have when the game was scheduled.
So, do they get paid to be on TV? Do you think that's why they did this?
The school?
Yeah.
I would guess.
Yeah, okay.
The school gets cash.
Yeah.
IMG won the game 58-0.
Oh, no. Uh-oh, Bishop Sycamore.
You know, Bishop Sycamore, you're making us look really bad. I mean, what kind of offense do you have there? Let alone the defense.
You got to get one in.
Yeah, I always feel that way too. You know, people always talk about the lopsided Ohio State victories, but I feel like if the other team scores 7, it's just like, well, they did score on you. So
Yeah.
that happened.
It's a more on your record.
Yeah, and like everybody knows it's mismatched.
Yeah.
So if you score 7 points, it's like, well, we did score.
Yeah, it counts.
That happened. Getting a 0 is tough. And it is weird that ESPN would show a football game from a school that they're not really even sure exists.
Yeah, but they claimed that there was like 4 college prospects on the team or something that were being scouted, right?
Okay.
That's all it was. It was like supposed to be like a good game of football. Like, this is the best high schoolers in the country.
In a statement, ESPN said, "We regret that this has happened and have discussed it with Paragon, which secured the matchup and handles the majority of our high school event scheduling. They have assured us that they will take steps from preventing this kind of situation from happening moving forward." Paragon president Rashid Ghazi told Awful Announcing that if he had known Bishop Sycamore had played a game on Friday, he would have canceled the Sunday game against IMG. That's the first of the sets of problems is that this school had played a game Friday and then also played a game Sunday on ESPN.
You're allowed to do one a weekend?
I think that's a good idea with football.
Yeah, I get it.
I don't know if that's the actual rule, but it's kind of bad. Like, we shouldn't be putting kids in 2 games in a weekend.
Yeah.
A Paragon spokesman told the Columbus Dispatch that a roster it received a month prior to the game was different than the one for Sunday's game. The spokesman added that the company is likely going to need to check rosters more carefully in the days leading up to the game. This Paragon company didn't even look. They didn't look.
No.
And look, I'm not yelling at them. I ain't got no beef with them. I wouldn't have looked either. I wouldn't think somebody would have made up a high school.
Yeah. There's somebody their job has been looking for like 10 years, and they're like, I looked. The first few years I looked. Nobody has ever made up a fake high school to get on TV. I'm going to stop looking.
Yeah. You don't have to look. Tuesday, USA Today reported that, so Bishop Sycamore coach Roy Johnson, speaking on Twitter Spaces, this guy's on fucking Twitter Spaces, had said about 15 players played in both games, though he said most played only small amounts. Tuesday, USA Today reported that Johnson had been let go as head coach on Sunday by Andre Peterson, a former Youngstown State player who founded and directs the school. He termed it mutual and said that Johnson speaking on Monday was okay because we hadn't put anything out. So I'm trying to find, like, what the actual issue was. Let's look at an awful announcing. Yeah, let's do this. IMG. Okay, so given all that, it's easy to see why IMG played in the finale of the Geico Kickoff Classic, a series of 7 high school games across ESPN networks featuring some of the country's best high school football teams. You'd think IMG's opponent, Bishop Sycamore, would be of a similar stature. That was very much not the case. So they started to dig out there. Bishop Sycamore is a team with a very questionable origins that had a ton of red flags. Worst of all, they had played a game on Friday. So how did they end up on ESPN? The network has been upfront in saying that all of the games for Geico Kickoff are booked by Paragon Marketing. Paragon has been ESPN's partner in multiple events, and ESPN provided the following. Okay. I spoke with Paragon President Rashid Ghazi last night. Ghazi said that they would have canceled the game. I'm redoing stuff. I'm sorry. I went to a different piece. It's a whole thing. Unfortunately, that's not true. Both games are available online. Bishop Sycamore had the same starting quarterback both games and frequently had players with the same numbers and the same alignments in both games. Roy Johnson admitted as much in an afternoon interview. So he did an interview and he was like, "Boy, can you believe how much these kids can play in 2 games in 1 weekend? That's fucking great.
Yeah.
We're so good."
It's impressive.
Yeah, it gets worse. A lot of these players played both ways in both games.
Oh, shit. Wait, but who are these people?
These kids?
Is it kids?
It's teenagers.
It really is.
It's high school.
Okay.
And they play both ways.
Yes.
In 2 games.
Offense and defense.
In 1 weekend. Yes. Meaning these kids had 1 day of rest after playing offense and defense before doing it all over again against maybe the most talented team in the country. That's unconscionable, of course, but it gets even worse. Bishop Sycamore's Friday night game was played against Stowe Rocks, and for now, Stowe Rocks. Okay. And for now can be found on YouTube. The game was played just outside of Pittsburgh, with Bishop Sycamore losing 19-7. Bishop Sycamore, come on, man. Both the news write-ups and the game broadcast the name Trillian Harris as the starting quarterback for Bishop Sycamore, the same starting quarterback for Sunday's game against IMG. Although Harris would switch numbers between games, he has the same red face. They were like, we don't want people... Switch numbers.
Yeah.
Put on a different jersey.
Yeah. They're going to catch on to it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's indicative of another thing viewers picked up on Sunday. It looked like Bishop Sycamore had mismatched helmets and potentially not enough helmets for the entire team.
Oh, no.
Why do we do this for sports, man? Why?
They wanted a shot at the top team. They thought they could do it. They thought they were like the Little Giants or something.
True, I guess. I don't think they thought... Those kids didn't think they were going to win. I think some kids were forced into this.
Yeah, who's in charge? What adult made them do this? That person should be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, and they didn't have enough helmets for the entire team, but they only had 30 to 35 players. So they should have had helmets for the whole thing.
I don't know. 30 helmets seems hard to come by to me.
So a week ago, Bishop Sycamore posted a GoFundMe campaign seeking $20,000, to which they raised under $200.
What?
So they did a GoFundMe. Maybe they just couldn't get the helmets because the GoFundMe didn't go.
Yeah.
That's fucked up, though. I'm pretty sure this is just not a school. This is not... Bishop Sycamore isn't a school.
Right.
Bishop Sycamore is a collection of kids, maybe homeschooled.
One adult that wanted to get a payday from ESPN and was like, I'll take everybody out for Wendy's after the game.
Yeah, it says, "We are Bishop Sycamore, a new..." And here's the fucking thing about this. They say a new football program getting established in Columbus, Ohio. Now, here's the thing. They fucking named their team Bishop Sycamore because people would think that it was a real high school. That was like their goal.
Yeah.
Was to fool people into thinking this is a high school. Because there is even a school here called Bishop Hartley.
And Bishop Reedy.
And Bishop Reedy, yes.
Yeah, it's a Catholic. It makes it sound like a Catholic school.
We play a national schedule which is ranked 4th in the nation. That's not true at all.
Sounds good.
We have gathered young men from all over the country in pursuit of a similar goal. We currently need your assistant with helping these young men achieve their goals and inspire other young men to do the same. It takes a community to raise a child. Please be that community and help these young men. Please help us with funding team meals, travel expenses, and equipment costs. And here's the thing about that is like, it would be really sad if schools had to do GoFundMes, which they do. They have to do like bake sales and charge for
PTA
tickets.
was doing GoFundMes before the website existed.
Yeah. There's obviously a lot of shadiness here, but one thing is true. Bishop Sycamore does indeed have the 4th toughest schedule according to Max Preps.
Oh.
They have multiple games scheduled for now against various national powerhouse programs.
Powerhouses.
So
we're in a powerhouse schedule.
This is such a scam. I have it figured out now. Now that I've ruminated in it, I have what happened figured out.
Okay.
This is a scam. Like, the scam here is that they want to make a football team that gets famous, right? Like, so they do these tough schedules, and then it makes it look like they played for a great football team, and then those kids can get scholarships because they played at the 4th. Like, so it's kind of like a setup to get these kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Played against ING, played against all of these things.
And then move them to Columbus, Ohio, which is also another. It makes sense to do this in Columbus, Ohio, from all over the country, right?
Yeah.
Like, to move people from all over the country, you would do it in 2 different places. You would do Texas or Columbus, Ohio, because you want to be close to the big football schools.
Yeah.
And it's a scam for the coach. If the coach can say, hey, look, I'm doing the 4th toughest schedule in the country, I should be paid a lot of money. And then also, like, with the GoFundMe, I'm sure, everybody was hooking up here. The Bishop Sycamore system here was set up to make money off of kids playing football. Friday's games also seem to suggest Bishop Sycamore might not have any an away white jersey. Both teams played in black, which obviously makes it hard on spectators. So they didn't have away jerseys.
No, we just got the one.
Yeah, I mean, we got a jersey. So again, how does this game not only take place, but make it on national television? ESPN claims they sounded the alarm to Paragon weeks in advance when they couldn't learn anything about Bishop Sycamore's roster, depth chart, or even just any general information about the school. I love this. I can't get enough of stuff like this.
Well, yeah, this is amazing too, because it's just everybody doesn't want to do their job. Like, it's just no one wants to check into anything. They're just
No.
These people literally, like, we can stroll right in and get on ESPN. They're like, how? They're like, we just say we're a fake school. They're like, how's that going to work? And they're like, watch.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of an ingenious way to get there, is to book football games with the best teams in the country. That is how you get on ESPN. You put your name around other people that are there. Bishop Sycamore allegedly bailed on a conference call with ESPN days before the game, before providing a fact sheet of information on Sunday, claiming multiple players had major D1 offers from power programs. So,
all power.
Yeah, very much powerful. ESPN could not verify any of this information and felt they were scam. That feeling permeated the broadcast, including this viral exchange that saw Anna Schroff acknowledging reality. It came after a long weather delay, with the game already out of hand, and the Bishop Sycamore coach refusing to allow for a running clock. So I can't play the audio, I don't think, because I'm not set up for that. It's very... Oh, here it is. Here's the transcript. It's very clear that they can't match up. No, they can't match up. And you already saw Trillian Harris, their quarterback, get dinged up. And the last thing you want is to have this showcase on national TV. The point to finish here is you look at IMG, and this is the most talented prep team in the country. Bishop Sycamore told us they had a number of D1 prospects in their roster. And to be frank, a lot of that we could not verify. So they're on TV just going off. They did not show up in our database. They did not show up in the databases of other recruiting services. So, okay, that's what you're telling us. Fine, that's how we take it in. From what we've seen so far, this is not a fair fight, and there's got to be a point where you're worried about health and safety. And then the other guy says, like, I'm already worried about it. I think this could potentially be dangerous given the circumstances and the mismatch that we have now, which is true. And a reporter at the game shared the following with me. Their roster was very small, tough. Small, though. 30 to 35 players would be my guesstimate. And they had a bunch of injuries over the course of the game, which makes sense if they were playing for the second time in 3 days. Schroff and Luganville called the game remotely, and to their endless credit, were very critical of the game on Twitter in addition to that moment on the broadcast. Early on, they were getting clean hits on the quarterback on every play. See, that's the problem with this. Is it's so fucking dangerous to do. You can't do that. You can't, like, lie about it.
Yeah, Bulgarian Feta in the chat says they want to hear the teens' perspective. I would also wish they would interview that quarterback.
Yeah. So then somebody, like, he says, while most parties involved seem to be distancing themselves from this fiasco, a Twitter account for Prep Gridiron Logistics has been extremely active on Twitter defending the game.
Oh, God.
So this is... Okay.
One of the coaches, somebody hiding.
The coach, the person that came up with the school, or the person that didn't check the roster.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
that's what I would do. I would be like, this is Prep Gridiron Logistics.
It's horseshit.
Yeah, I brought these two, and there have also been a few message board accounts using very similar language and reasoning in an effort to prop up the legitimacy of Bishop Sycamore as a school and a football program. And then they say, so the Prep Gridiron Logistics website states the following. So then they do this, and then PGL recently announced a relationship with Flow Sports. So there's that's a contract.
Yeah.
Right? Like this is fucking using kids and potentially getting them not only injured, but like, you also hate to hear stories about kids that are really good at fucking football that don't know when to stop and end up getting really fucking hurt and then not being able to get the scholarship to make the NFL or do any of this stuff. Like, you hate to hear that stuff because that really is a legitimate way to kind of, improve your situation and your standing in life for a lot of people. The quote at the end of that release cites Joe Mamio, managing member of Prep Gridiron Logistics. Paragon offered the following and then asked about their role. So this is Paragon. The two schools verbally agreed to play each other in May. So that's how you get something like this done. Me and you could do this. We could, because all you got to really do is talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And nobody would ever believe you're making up a high school.
Right.
There's just nobody in this world would ever believe, like, hey, these guys, I think, are maybe making up a high school. That's fake. So issues of Bishop Sycamore go back prior to the 2020 season. In 2019, multiple games were canceled for either not providing a roster to organizers, not booking hotel accommodations, or opponents discovering the team was using players who were older than high school players. Whatever this is just all of the bad stuff that could possibly ever happen if you were trying to do a scam. Like, this is a really poorly put together scam.
I want to know who's getting paid and how long it's been going on and how much they made before this happened.
Yeah. So here's what they learned about Bishop Sycamore himself. Bishop Sycamore's existence as an actual school has been called into questions many times over. If it does, it's as a new online charter school at most. The school is not recognized by the Ohio High School Athletic Association, and their physical location, practice facilities, and roster eligibility could not be verified. I think they're ripping off parents who have like a lot of faith and hope in their kids' talent. And like, many people have pointed out that Bishop Sycamore plays a lot of postgraduate players. Some have actually played in JUCO games, junior college games, and are a few years older than most high school athletes. In their games to date, the team has been shorthanded while also providing little to no information about its roster to broadcast partners, as seen here. Here's some more issues. Vanishingly little on Sycamore's founding exists on the internet. What appears to be the school's website, bishopsycamore.org, is basically a blog. Its most recent post on May 21st explains how to catch a college recruiter's attention on social media. The website's About Us section is blank.
Oof.
This is such a bad scam, people. The only hard proof I can find of the school's existence outside of football team is this Massillon, Ohio Independent article from last September, where even in the most favorable light, this online-only prep school exists somewhere in between Findlay Prep and Prime Prep on the spectrum of alternative, sports-focused high schools. It seems like when you read about the school on the internet, you hear things about, well, they just run around aimlessly and are just trying to play football. Associate AD Dave Brown told the paper. I don't think that people understand that a lot of these young men, they really, 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 really want to go to college. They really, really, really want to be good fathers. The way to teach these things is through football. I don't think people understand that. They get so caught up in the football aspect of it, and they don't realize there's actual people who really want to do better in life. And I think that's another thing too, is maybe they do junior college people so that they can try to catch the attention of a recruiter to get onto a college team. Because they do make you play college football before you can play in the NFL. So further bolstering the amount of issues is that they, regarding Bishop Sycamore, are different high school football message boards with damning accusations about the school, as well as a feature about the school head coach Roy Johnson started up prior to Bishop Sycamore, alleging fraud and mismanagement, and that classes may not have been taking place. Some highlights. A week later, on September 25th, the Ohio High School Athletic Association said its representatives could not verify classes were taking place at AME Church 3rd District Headquarters at 112 Jefferson Avenue in Columbus, and its determined football games played against COF Academy would not count for points to qualify for the state playoffs. Also, Johnson and Richardson are defendants in 2 cases accusing them of unpaid loans for $100,000. Multiple businesses and other private individuals are threatening lawsuits of their own against Johnson due to accusations of unpaid bills for services, he said. For those reasons, Johnson said, he and his attorneys are assembling a lawsuit against the company. So, so we made up a fake school. Try to do better than that, people.
I'm reading another thing. Someone kind of breaks it down. There's somebody that's been investigating them since like 2017.
Oh.
And they said it's basically like just for the guy Roy Johnson to make money. He said one of the things to do is you call up a powerhouse school and say, we want to come play you, but we're really struggling and we need you to pay us to get there. So they get money for transportation and lodging and all this stuff. He didn't pay busing. He didn't pay the busing companies, so he kept all the money that was paid to bus the kids there.
Let's fucking
shit
do
like
this,
that,
dude. But we'll get like 24-year-old people and just be like, listen, you gotta go get beat by a bunch of high school kids in a football game, but we're all gonna make a little bit of money on the deal.
He said the ballpark is $10K per game. So if you peel off $100 to a teenager, they'll play a fucking game, right?
Yeah, I don't think they're giving the kids money though.
Why would they play?
Because I think that there's parents lying, or there are parents being lied to that are sending their kids. I mean, it could be if you peel off a few $100s for the kids to play, But I really think it's probably them saying that this is a school. Like, you can sell this as a way to recruit kids to your football team from parents who have kids that think that they're prospects. So you're a parent that thinks your kid has a prospect of being in college football, but you haven't been noticed by one of the prep schools or college football centered or, football centered schools, which there shouldn't even be. Like, we don't need that shit. You can play football. I don't think you should have to go to college to play football, but I think that, like, you can play football when you're 18. Like, maybe in high school it's not bad. I don't want to be a guy that's like, they should play flag football in high school, but it should be like a drastically scaled down version of the actual sport that they're playing, because we know that this is dangerous now.
Yeah.
We know that it's a dangerous thing. But, yeah, I guess so you got 35 kids. No, there's no way. Because if you get $10,000 and you have to somehow make your money and probably somebody else, you're not doing this scam by yourself. Yeah. Right? If you can make 10 grand and you got to split it between 35 people, that's just, I think, yeah, they say that they're a school with a strong schedule and that the parents will send their kids there.
But the kids aren't going to school there. They know their kids aren't enrolled in the school, though. That's you'd have to be. I don't understand how 35 families could be this stupid.
I do. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know, because they don't check. We were just talking about it. Sometimes people just don't care that much. But yeah, I mean, I guess they could be paying them, but I would lean more towards that. The kids are getting paid. Or the kids aren't getting paid, that the coach is getting paid and is being paid by parents by some sort of a tuition agreement, but there's no school. So it's a tuition agreement that goes to him. The tuition's all to him. And then probably what you do as far as, if it's an online school, you can probably just find resources that teaches the school for you. It doesn't do a good job, but you can give kids a bunch of different assignments and just be like, yeah, you're in school.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's too far.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a fake school. That's all. That's what I'm saying.
To get on TV.
Which is, I mean, I would make a fake school to get on TV, but I just don't want to hurt kids. Maybe we could do one with tennis.
Uh-huh.
Or like
it hurts their
baseball.
Ankles.
Baseball? Baseball's pretty safe. You gotta think baseball, Brett. This is from the Los Angeles Times. Amazon.com Inc. has a solution for potentially crippling shortage of delivery drivers. What do you think the solution might be, Brett? This one's going to catch you off guard, I promise.
Extra shifts for other people, automate it with robots. What would be the way to do it?
This is, I'm telling you that, like, I wish I could I'll give you a hint. They are looking for a certain type of person that maybe wouldn't have been able to get a job at Amazon.
Potheads.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, so the company's advising its delivery partners, the mom and pops that operate the ubiquitous blue Amazon vans, to prominently advertise that they don't screen applicants for marijuana use, according to correspondence reviewed by Bloomberg and interviews with 4 business owners.
Nice.
So they're just like, who cares anyway?
No, you can listen to podcasts and music all day, man. Do dabs in the front of the truck.
I mean, doing so can boost the number of... This is a crazy number you're going to hear. Doing so can boost the number of job applicants by as much as 400%.
Really?
I mean...
Yeah, I guess nobody wants to take a drug test.
I mean, how many times did you have to go looking for a job where you were like trying to read through the tea leaves to find out if they were going to drug test you?
Yeah.
Because I did that all the time. It was always like... I only got the job at the cable company because I was not smoking weed at the time. I was doing opiates. So,
Yeah.
like, those come out of your system pretty quick. I was fine. But, like, you know, you can't, you like, the only problem is pot smokers. Weed people are the only people that come up on drug tests, pretty much. I mean, if you get busted, like, on your drug test if you get busted on your pre-employment drug test for cocaine, I feel like...
Yeah, you're too reckless to have a job.
It wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, you weren't going to keep it.
Yeah, that means you, like, did cocaine the night before the interview. Like, you think I'll piss this out by the time I...
Just drink a lot of Mountain Dew.
What is did you ever piss for a job? Ever?
I pissed for Discover Card. I think I just abstained for like a month or something to get it.
Mature.
Can
I ask a better question? Let's say you have to find a job now. How do you pass the drug test now in 2021? What would your plan be? We're just going to assume it's a urinalysis. Just a urine test.
I would not even try. I mean, I guess I would... I don't know. I guess sneak it in. I guess I would do the fake urine in the butt cheeks or with the hand warmer or something.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I've always said. It's just like, I guess I'll just do the fake piss with the hand warmer. That seems like the...
It works.
Way to do it.
The drinks are too chaotic. The drinks I do, they work, but you have like an 18-minute window. Like you have to chug it, go inside, and then wait around until like the perfect time to pee.
Zydot, baby. That's the famous brand from when I was a kid. You bought Zydot, and it tasted like it was supposed to be like mango, but I never did it. But anybody I know that did it said it was horrible.
Yeah.
I had a buddy one time who drank a really big glass of vinegar because somebody told him.
Yeah, that was a classic.
Golden Seals was another classic. They were these pills. I don't even know what Golden Seals are.
Neither do I.
Let me look that up. We're going to find out what Golden Seals are because it was really rumored back in the day that Golden Seals were how you pass a drug test. And you bought them at GNC. And, it's a plant. Golden Seal is a plant. And they just said that, like, if you take, like, 16 of them, you'll pass a drug test. The vinegar didn't work. But this dude was also, like... So the idea behind the vinegar... This is crazy. The idea behind the vinegar was that it would, like, clean you out. And the idea was, I'm going to drink... He drank a bunch of vinegar. He drank a bunch of orange juice. And he thought what was going to happen was he was going to pee so much that all the drugs would just leave his system. Because he's peeing the whole time. Because that's how we thought things worked back then.
Yeah, that was very common.
Yeah. So the other thing he did that really, I think, sealed his fate was he was drinking beer before the test and stuff. Like on the way there and stuff, he was just drinking beer because beer makes you pee. And he was thinking like, I'll just drink a bunch of fucking beer, man. I pee all the time when I'm drinking beer. And, you know, he failed the drug test.
No way, really?
Well, he also did this thing. 'Cause I went with him. This is the only time I've ever been privy to something like this, other than if I was getting tested for insight, if I got hurt or something like that, or if I was in the occupational work hospital. Mm-hmm. He kept saying, he thought, like, I know what I'll do. I'll tell him I can't pee. And so he just was in there. He drank beer, he drank vinegar, and he had drank orange juice. And he kept saying, like, I don't know.
Can't make it happen.
And I don't know. Every time I go in there, I think I got to go, and I don't go. And he didn't think they were going to keep him around. Because then they made him drink water.
Yeah.
You're going to have to pee, dude. You're not going to get out of this. You're not just going to hit a fucking 24-hour period where you don't pee at all. Like, you're not going to hit that kind of a lucky thing.
Yeah, they're not just going to be like, well, I guess he can't do it. He passed.
Yeah.
He passed. He can't, so he passed.
Yeah. Amazon said, so without explaining how it came up with the statistic, conversely, the company says screening for marijuana cuts the prospective work pool by up to 30%. I mean, everybody's doing it, dude. And it stays in your system for so
Too
long.
long.
Yeah, it's bullshit. One delivery partner who stopped screening applicants at Amazon's behest said marijuana was the prevailing reason most people failed drug tests. Now that she's only testing for drugs such as opiates and amphetamines, more drivers pass. Other delivery companies are continuing to screen applicants, concerned about the insurance and liability implications in the many states where weed use remains illegal.
Right.
That's always been the excuse, was the insurance. They would raise the insurance if you didn't do the test. That's why we got to do away with insurance companies.
Don't tell the nobody tell nobody that you're on weed.
Yeah. But
you got an accident, just call the insurance. So you don't have to test nobody.
Yeah. No, I understand that. I think they're talking about like premiums wise.
No, that's what I mean. But I'm saying they wouldn't go up if you don't tell them.
Yeah.
Like it's in the business's interest to be like, no, we didn't test them.
Yeah, we don't test these people.
If we're gonna charge us more, then no, we're not doing that.
Well, here's the worst person. If one of my drivers crashes and kills somebody and tests positive for marijuana, that's my problem, not Amazon, said one who requested anonymity to discuss the issue because Amazon discourages delivery company owners from speaking to media. So that's always been the thing, is if they reckon they kill somebody and then they test positive for marijuana. But it's like, people know the deal with marijuana. Like, it's not like people don't know the fucking deal.
People are doing it all the time, constantly. It's been easier and cheaper than ever before, even in places where it's illegal.
Yeah, yeah.
People are high all the time driving.
So, I guess when you're trying to be the corporate overlord of America and employ every single person that lives in the country so that you can, like, get your sci-fi TV shows made and go to space, I think you got to be okay with weed. At least if we got to look at it this way, we got to say, hey, look, the biggest company in the world is okay with weed. And that's not going to make us feel good. That's not going to make us feel great. But you know what? At least we have that.
Yeah, closer to an opiate of the masses.
Yeah, at least it's there. So, yeah, I've heard about this. Outer Organism in a chat said I lost a job a few months ago because I used the fake piss twice and it came up as abnormal on the test.
Yeah, I've heard that. Inconclusive, all that.
But there's also, like, you have to, like, really look at the lot number sort of thing. Not lot number, version number. There's several versions. They make version after version after version of that piss. And, because
Wait, you say the drink or the piss?
The piss.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. They have to keep making different versions.
Oh.
Let's make a fucking piss, dude.
Our official blend of piss?
I think we could do it.
Okay.
We go buy a bunch of fucking drug tests. Oh, I guess that probably won't work. I was going to buy some drug tests last week just so me and you could take them. I don't know if they tell you how much is in there, if it's like a brighter color, if there's a lot. But I was going to buy a drug test. Well, I think we did it. There was a fake school. I do want to say two things. If there are resources, not other than, I'm not saying they're bad. Planned Parenthood is obviously a good organization. Feel free to message me. Just tweet them at me if there are links for Texas on that abortion ban. You know, I like to help in any way I can. And it sucks that's happening. I don't quite understand it. I read 5 different articles that explained it 5 different ways. And basically not telling you what level you should have to worry to, I guess. But, you know, again, I'm not totally sure about that. I just know it's bad when they limit abortion access.
Yeah, I mean, they lowered it to just an unacceptable number. Just basically outlawed it.
Yeah, they outlawed it. And also, I have not received... Now I'm I'm chastising it. I'm not chastising people.
Okay.
But since I am taking, since I'm taking Sunday off, another thing I'd be willing to share and also give to or whatever is Hurricane Ida mutual aid funds, because that's another thing that I haven't seen out there. I'm sure they're very easy to find. Just if you have a specific one that's good, please send it to me. I'll do what I can. Help out if you can with Ida. I don't. Yeah. Is it? I feel bad. Is it like really a bad one? I mean, they said the levee's held in the city.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't say.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can't tell how bad it is. It feels like they're not super reporting on it.
Yeah, power is out, from what I can tell, which is never good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I just want to make sure I mention those things. Read up on them, I guess. I will do the same. We will be back Wednesday with an all-new episode of Street Fight. Here's what I can recommend. If you're not a patron and you're not happy that we're going to have Sunday off and you're just like, God, I wish you guys would come in on Sunday. If you're not a patron, become a $5 subscriber and you will have so much Street Fight you won't know what to do with it.
It's true.
The MCU series, that's the movie cinematic universe. We just reviewed Meet the Spartans, which is the worst movie I've ever seen. And I said that last week about Epic Movie.
Yeah.
And I said that the week before about Date Movie. But Meet the Spartans was very bad.
Yeah, it's getting horrible.
And next week it's Disaster Movie. So we'll see how that works out. And also, as Brett said, on the 30th of September, the first episode of Shoptober. This is the big pitch. And I fucked it up.
Shoptober.
The first episode of Shocktober will be out, and you will be listening to it. I am waffling between something. Maybe I can ask this question, and big shockheads will let me know. I'm considering opening this year with Ron and Fez, because Fezzy died, and it's sad to me, and I want to celebrate the man because he was great. But that would mean I'm breaking the tradition of opening with Opie and Anthony every year. I always want to open with them. So I'm trying to figure out if I should break tradition or keep tradition. So I don't know if you have any strong feelings about that. There's going to be an Opie and Anthony episode. It just might not be first. That's basically what I can say.
Yeah, what's more important?
I don't know, man. You know how I don't like tradition.
Yeah.
But I also like tradition.
Okay. Wow.
I'm a traditional guy just opening the show saying Labor Day.
Yeah, that's true.
Fake Labor Day is like a great day. And I know it's the fake Labor Day. It has the word labor in it.
It's nice to have this time of year. It's a nice tradition to send our kids to school and then give them a 4-day week.
Good weekend, too.
Is it?
I think it's one of the top weekends.
Really?
I do. You got to go with Labor Day. You got to go with Thanksgiving. And you got to go with Memorial Day. Those are very good. Thanksgiving's good because it's 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. You can't get much better than... It's the only 4-day.
They do them little half Fridays, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But it's... In a world that I live in, I would want it to be 4 days. I guess you're right. So we gotta go with Labor Day and Memorial Day. With Christmas is pretty good. This is a good feeling.
Pretty good. Just pretty good.
I think it's on a pretty good level. I like gifts. I like giving gifts. I like receiving gifts. I like stuff. But Christmas could be on a Tuesday. No,
It is sometimes, actually.
Christmas could be on a Wednesday.
Uh-huh.
And then motherfuckers will have to go to work.
Yeah. Monday
and Tuesday. They have Wednesday off. Got to go back to work Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
And I had to do that.
Unfortunate.
Sometimes. That's the worst thing that can happen. It ruins the Christmas night. So, you know what, people? I'm going to go home tonight. I'm going to watch this Charles Manson thing I'm watching. I'm going to fall asleep. I love you. Go on to Patreon and patron stuff.
Peace.